Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Thursday, so we're here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and my co host, Miss Francine Gregory, is producing the show in the background. She's got us over here on Facebook. Um, where else? We are on YouTube and we are on Periscope and other places to be found, such as our podcast. So we just thank you for tuning in. We're going to be talking about a very interesting subject today. But before we get started, I just want to say we really are glad to see Robin back in the seat, and we're going to turn the show over to her. Hi, Robin.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Francine in the background. Thank you so much. Today we have our expert guest, Linus Woods Mullins, and we're so excited to have her back. She's been one of our stable guests for, oh gosh, it's been at least a year or so, huh, Linus?
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a few minutes today to actually really introduce Linus a little better than I have in the past, because I was reading her on Facebook and I'm like, oh my goodness, she's so accomplished. So let me just take a few minutes and read some of these things that Linus has in her background. It's so impressive. Okay. So she has over 10 years of creating products, services, and programs for women over the age of 40. She has a following of over 175,000 people on social media. She's an editor-in-chief of the e-magazine Wellness Women 40 and Beyond. She's also the co-producer and host of the Wellness Women Wellness Women show. Mm-hmm. She's an author. She has a book, De-Stress the Mess, Minimizing I can't remember writing.
Probably memorizing the impact of
stress on your body and maximizing the joy. Can't even read my own writing, Linus. And she's also the creator of the Wellness Women Holistic Living. And that's just like one paragraph. There was like other paragraphs that I didn't get to. So people need to go onto Facebook and check it out. It's just really, really impressive, Linus. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to read that.
Yeah.
So over 10 years, almost 11 years in April, you do kind of, if you're doing anything at all, you're going to create a body of work. And it's been a joy. And, pretty amazing when you think about it. While you're doing what you're doing, you're not thinking about the sum total. But just the other day, and I think that women in business should do this from time to time. When you're working so hard, you need to, figure out what to celebrate, and no one else may not understand it, but you will, and probably the biz chicks will. But Google your name and see what comes up. And so when I Googled my name, over 2 million hits came up. And so I thought, oh, well, that's probably other stuff with Woods or Linus, whatever. But I was on there until like the 11th or 12th page. It was all Linus Woods Mullins. So that was like, wow, I had not done that before, but I went to a seminar and they're talking about ways to give yourself kudos when you are a solopreneur.
Yes.
And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. And I felt really good about it. So all you guys should do that. And if you think it's lower, then you know what you need to do. Just put more content out there. Just keep pushing stuff out there. But the reason why I'm here today is not that. It's to talk about your immune system. I thought, given the current climate and the whole thing with the virus and everything that's going on, that I would talk about some generalities in terms of boosting our immune system, because there's several things that you can do on a daily basis. And I want to cover like what you can do in general. Then I'm going to talk about some of the foods that you can eat and some of the juicing that you might want to do, all designed to enhance your immune system. One of the things that's very common with all viruses is that you're much more susceptible to getting any kind of virus or any kind of germ if you have a compromised immune system. And the older we get, the more of a propensity for us to have a compromised immune system. And I was just telling Robin, right as we were going into the show, that what happens sometimes around this time of the year, we have a tendency to slip off on some of the things we do during the winter time of the year to protect our immune system. But the reality is our immune systems need to be protected all throughout the year, because it is a misnomer and a myth that you get colds because it's cold outside. You get colds because of germs. That's why people getting colds in the winter, in the summer as well. It's because, why do I have a cold in the summer? Because you got some germs. I mean, germs are around, viruses are around 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter the season. So anyway, let's get started. We're talking about some of the general things that you can do. And some of these things I think you might know, but you may not have known that these are things that will really help your immune system. And basically, boosting your immune system always requires living a healthy lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I think we take it for granted about how important the healthy lifestyle is. And we're thinking, oh, well, this doesn't really matter, but it all works together for your health. It all works together for your good health. You want to make sure that you're exercising regularly. You want to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. And I've said this before, if you can't do a full 30 minutes, then do 15, break it up. Don't smoke, just don't smoke. I don't have to tell you about that. Don't smoke, maintain a healthy weight. And I always say that it's not what you look like, it's what your health is like. You know how much you should be weighing versus how much you're actually weighing. And I'm not passing judgment if you're overweight or underweight or whatever, but you know what a healthy weight is. And if you're not sure what a healthy weight should be, then you need to discuss that with your doctor and your practitioner and make that your goal, because being overweight compromises your immune system. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you're carrying that extra weight, everything is working overtime and something has to give. And your immune system is one of the first things to begin to get out of whack when you're overweight. If you're drinking alcohol, drink it in moderation. Now, moderation is different for different people. There's been studies that say that even one glass of alcohol every day compromises your overall health in terms of your brain function or other things that are going on. So do what you know when you're over drinking. And I would say over drinking is feeling like you have to have that glass of wine every single day. If you feel like you have to have it, more than likely that's something you want to take a look at, because you don't want to get dependent on alcohol. But just monitor your alcohol intake and monitor the kind of alcohol it is too. And it's, the brown, the white, the Chardonnay, whatever it is, your body will tell you, okay, maybe I don't need to be drinking that bourbon anymore because my stomach's upset and I have a headache. That's the first clue to stop drinking that, because it's doing more harm to your body than what you would like to see happen. So just keep that in mind. Also, get adequate sleep. This is huge. If we're not getting enough sleep, then our bodies aren't shutting down, and then they're not repairing themselves. And if they're not repairing themselves, then they're not working together for your good or for your health. Something's going to get compromised. And one of the first things to go when you're not getting enough rest is your immune system. You want to make sure that you take steps to avoid infection, of course. Hand washing frequently is very important. The wipes, I guess if that's all you have, that's better than nothing. But I'm here to tell you that you've got to wash with soap and water at least 20 seconds and do it throughout the day. If you're in a public place, when you finish using the towel, take that towel and open the door to the bathroom with it as you're leaving and throw the towel away later. A lot of people wash their hands, throw away the towel, go back and use and open the door, and then boom, you got the germs all over again. If you have one of those blow dry things, that for your hands, just carry with you some towels in your purse, paper towels, so that you can use that paper towel to open up the door and then just discard the towel. Another thing you want to do to help increase your immunity is to minimize stress. I cannot tell you how much stress beats up your immune system. Stress causes sleeplessness. It can cause us to have cravings where we're eating things that aren't good for our immune system. It can cause headaches. I mean, there's just all kinds of things. But the bottom line is your body is kind of in that flight or fright response. Never a good idea to be like that in a prolonged situation, because it does compromise your immune system. Now, there are foods and things that you can eat that can be very helpful. in fortifying your immune system. And I kind of wanted to go over those real quickly with you. One of the things that the A number one food to me anyway, that I like to boost a strong immune system is blueberries. And when you look up on the internet, what will boost your immune system quickly, blueberries is almost always on the top of the list. Now, I use blueberries in my oatmeal. I never make a smoothie without them. Sometimes I just eat them by themselves. If you can get raw organic blueberries, that's fantastic. Sometimes they're not in season. I get frozen blueberries now because I like to add them instead of ice to my smoothie because they're cold. So I use that. But blueberries, however you can incorporate them into your diet, I think it's a very good, they play a vital role in boosting your immune system. And one of the reasons why is because they help with the upper respiratory tract infections. They help prevent that. And right now with the viruses that are going around, they settle in the upper respiratory tract. So another reason to eat blueberries. Dark chocolate. It has great antioxidants and it really does help to boost the immune system. You want to get at least 70% cocoa. It's not really sweet. So I'm not talking about your Hershey chocolate bar. I'm talking about dark chocolate. It's kind of it's not a sweet taste at all. It's kind of a chalky taste almost, but it's an acquired taste. You can eat it with something else, like eat it with your blueberries or melt it in your almond milk or something like that. But dark chocolate is really, really good. It helps with getting rid of the free radicals that can damage the body's cells and also contribute to disease. Turmeric. That's a little yellow spice that many people use for cooking. It's also persistent in using, it also is helpful in preventative medicine. Consuming turmeric may improve your immune system. And how I use turmeric, I use a little bit of turmeric in my coffee, a little bit of turmeric on my brown rice. There's all in your soups, there's all kinds of creative ways. You can get a turmeric root if you want fresh turmeric, but if you can find a way to incorporate that into your diet, it goes a long way. Also, broccoli is a great source of vitamin C, especially if you can eat it either raw or eat it steamed a little bit. Now, for people who have certain kinds of medications, they have to be careful about the cruciferous fruits. Sometimes it irritates the medication that you're taking. So just double check with your doctor, but hopefully it'll be okay because broccoli is an excellent way. You can put it in your salads. You can make soup with it. You can stir fry it, put it in your eggs. You want to eat this kind of vegetable regularly because it does add to your immune system. Spinach also is the same thing. Sweet potatoes too, because of it's rich in beta carotene, and that beta carotene is an excellent antioxidant that also gives the skin a kind of glow. Sweet potatoes and beets, believe it or not, give that skin the glow, and they're both rich in beta carotene, which is also great antioxidant. And also ginger. I love ginger. I put ginger in my tea. Again, in my coffee. Sometimes I'll put it in my smoothies. Garlic is another great natural antioxidant and antibody. A lot of people, use it for colds and flu once you get it, but you can use it also preventatively to keep from getting sick. Green tea. Can't say enough good things about green tea. It does have a small amount of caffeine in it, but it's a great alternative for black tea and coffee. And it has so much good stuff in it in terms of fortifying your immune system. It has the flavonoids, just like the blueberries do, and it does reduce the risk of a cold. And if you don't like to drink green tea, you can also try the matcha, which is nothing but green tea that's been ground into a really bright green powdery substance, and you can make green tea lattes or just drink it as green tea or add it to your smoothies. Another one, sunflower seeds. Who knew? Kefir is a fermented drink, and it contains live cultures of bacteria that are beneficial to your health. We don't have traditionally a lot of kefir in our American culture, but we need to add it because it's good at reducing inflammation, fighting bacteria, and increasing antioxidants. And you can find kefir in most of your health food stores, and now some of your other stores in their health food section, you'll be able to find that. Or not kefir, I'm sorry. Almonds, excellent because of the vitamin E that is in there. And vitamin E is an excellent way to fortify your immune system. And also, almonds have magnesium, which is something else that we need to help fortify the immune system. Oranges, of course, vitamin C, absolutely. And vitamin C reduces the duration. If you get the cold, it reduces the duration, but it does also fortify your immune system. Red bell pepper has a lot of vitamin C as well. So that's just some of the foods. Now, there are some drinks that you might want to think about drinking that are really great to fortify your immune system. I don't do a lot of juicing. I do mostly, I don't do a lot of juicing. I do mostly smoothies. But either way you go, these drinks could help, or drink combinations could help boost your immune system. The reason why I like to do the smoothies is that I like to drink the fiber and stuff that's in there. I try to get it as much of the nutrients as possible. So when I put the veggies or the fruits in my smoothie, I keep the skin on and everything else. So, but some people don't like that. But here's a great combination: watermelon, mint, and lime cooler. Fantastic. It's very, first of all, watermelon really fills you up, and it's a great way to lose weight, because if you're drinking watermelon water or water flavored with watermelon or watermelon smoothie, whatever, you have less of a craving. So it's a very healthy snack, but also it has a lot of vitamin C in it, which is great for fortifying the immune system. Another one is orange and tomato juice. Now, I have done this before, and what I have done is used oranges and cherry tomatoes, put it in the blender and just drink it. It's, again, another great vitamin C support. And it also is great for the joints and the overall skin health, but really good for fortifying the immune system. Of course, we talked about berry smoothies. I like to take a combination of berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and put them all together, maybe with some coconut milk or almond milk. I add some flaxseed in there for the omega-3, which we really need to have, and maybe some chia seed, which also is a great protein to have. Maybe a little bit of ginger, more immune boosting, immune fortifying foods, and grind it up with a little bit of honey for taste, just to sweeten it up a little bit. And it tastes fabulous, and it is really, really good for immune system. Carrot juice, you hear all kinds of things about carrot juice, that beta carotene in that carrot juice. That's what really makes a difference when it comes to an antioxidant that also is converted into vitamin A, which is sometimes difficult for us to get through our foods. So carrot juice has a double whammy. And apple and spinach smoothie. I love apple and spinach smoothies. Of course, that whole thing about an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That is really true. Apple has all kinds of nutritive values, and it also helps to boost the immune system. So you couple that with spinach that has all kinds of good stuff in it. You've got a great drink, and you also have a great infection fighting, immune boosting drink. So those are some of my suggestions, except for one more thing. Probably one of the most powerful things you can do to fortify your immune system is make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, lemon water in particular. I'll tell you what I do. In the morning, I get a pitcher, and I cut up my lemons and I put it in the pitcher, and then I take my bottled water and pour all of it in there, let it sit for a while, and then I pour it all back into the bottle, and I carry it to this, and I drink it up, because I just drink more of this than I do when it's in a glass. I don't know why, I just do. And one more thing about the current virus that's going on right now. The experts, you hear a lot of things, but one thing I've heard consistently is that you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. And I don't mean necessarily gulping the whole thing down, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll drink this thing all the way down and just get over with. But we want to keep our throats moist, because that's where the virus sits and grows. So sipping water throughout the day, sipping lemon water in particular, can be very helpful in terms of warding off the propensity for the virus to sit in your throat and your glands in that area. So that's it. Any questions? Anything going on?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you have a smoothie every single morning, Linus? And then do you kind of mix them up? Like this morning, I feel like an apple spinach, and or do you do several during the day? I mean, how do you
I do smoothies twice a day, but
Twice a day.
definitely, yeah. And I do one the second part of the day because my blood sugar has a tendency to go down. It's just the way I'm rigged. Between 1 and 2, I'm just not good for anything. So I just make a smoothie real quick. In the mornings, I have this ritual where I make my coffee because, yes, I still drink my 1 little cup of coffee. I make my water and I make my smoothie. And my smoothie always has blueberries in it, but I switch it up in terms of what I put in there. My favorite one is probably a little bit of banana, not too much because banana has a lot of sugar in it, but it's got that magnesium and potassium. So if I'm going to use banana, that means I won't be using any honey. So I do the blueberries, the banana, I put some ginger, and I like to put the matcha ground green in there too.
Mhm.
And I also put in the spirulina because it's got all my good green stuff and minerals. Spirulina, it comes from the ocean. It's such a pretty dark forest green. It's really brilliant kind of green. And it's got all the different minerals and things that you need that you don't normally get from your food. So I put that in there. And then I like this cocoa powder that's
Now,
made
what?
from rice. It's a cocoa rice powder and it has protein in it. And I just add a little bit of that because it really gives you a perk. I especially add that in the morning. I mean, I can feel it. If I drink that smoothie and then have some coffee too, I am on top of the roof. So I'm trying to place myself on that because cocoa does have caffeine in it. But cocoa is another great protein and has other minerals and stuff. A lot of B6 is another thing that we really need to have for our immune system. But that's usually the combination. I always have blueberries. Always use the matcha, the spirulina, and sometimes the cocoa.
So
Mhm.
the spirulina, is that a powder? Is that something that you buy like in a little, is it
Yeah,
capsules?
you buy it. The way I buy it is in a pouch, and I
Mhm.
get it at Trader Joe's, but you can get it almost at any health food store. You might even be able to order it from Amazon, and usually cost about $7 or $8 a bag. You use maybe about 1 teaspoon
Mm.
per smoothie, per 8-ounce or 16-ounce smoothie. You don't have to use a lot, and it's really, really good for you. It doesn't replace all the greens that you need, but it will go a long ways in terms of giving you some minerals that you don't get
Ah.
automatically from a lot of your green foods, even if you're eating them raw sometimes, because our soil is depleted. And I know organically it's supposed to be better, but we have some challenges with the soil depletion because of what's going on with our Mother Earth. So this is a way to get some good green stuff from the ocean, basically. And the color is just unbelievable. It's just like, wow, look at that color. You know how when you're in like near the ocean and you
Mhm.
notice how the vegetation begins to seem a little richer and the colors are deeper and things like that. That's exactly how this stuff is. You can tell it comes from the ocean. It's so dark. You can tell that. So yeah, that's really good. And the matcha, I definitely recommend that. It has so many nutrients in it. It's a great antioxidant. It's like using green tea, but it's
Mhm.
ground up. And now for me, that's better because when I drink green tea, after 1 cup, I feel a little nauseated for some
Mm.
reason. It doesn't agree with me as much. But with the matcha, I don't feel anything. And it could be a little grainy, so you want to, blend it real good. But it's an excellent way to get antioxidants if you don't like to drink green tea.
Now, my question is, do you do these powders with your berries or your other things?
Yeah, I do it with my berries, my apples, my
Okay.
bananas, whatever. Sometimes I have, a refrigerator smoothie. Whatever's in the refrigerator, I put it in there.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
I
so
put all
like
my
vibration
powders in
cooking. Yeah.
there. And sometimes every once in a while, if I'm feeling like, I always use almond milk to make sure I'm getting my
Uh-huh.
calcium. But
Okay.
sometimes I might use a little bit of yogurt because it's fermented, and you got to get that you need that fermentation for your gut health. But if you were to use the kefir, then that really helps a lot with gut health. I'm hesitant about using a lot of yogurt because we need the calcium, but it does build up the mucus layer if you have a cold or flu or something like that. So
Mhm.
I hardly had all that whole time when I had that cough and everything, I didn't have any yogurt at all. In fact, I wasn't even using almond milk at all because it has calcium in it, and sometimes calcium can contribute to the mucus layer. It depends on how you're rigged. So I used water. And yeah, I missed the taste of the almond milk a little bit, but sometimes, in eating healthy, you can eat stuff that's good, but sometimes you just want to get the nutrients in and forget whether or not it tastes good or not. You just need it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just need it. So
Okay, and you said something about a cocoa powder. Did I pronounce that
yeah.
right?
The cocoa powder, I use what is it called? It's a rice, um, it's a cocoa or chocolate rice powder. It comes from rice and it's ground, and it's got cocoa in it and another protein. And it's really good because it gives you a little extra energy. A lot of times I will take this before I go for my walk or before I do my yoga or a workout, because it kicks in about 30 minutes or so into the workout or into what you're doing, kind of gives you extra energy, and it stays with you. One thing about the matcha that's good when you're using it in the morning, not only will it help fortify your immune system, but it keeps your blood sugar levels more even. So when I do use the matcha in the morning, I don't get the dip of blood sugar levels in the same way. So
Interesting.
Well, I'm inspired to do smoothies. I don't do smoothies. I never have.
yes, do smoothies. And people can go to my website, and there's a thing that says free stuff on there. If you click on store and look down, it says free stuff. Click on that and just fill out the information. I just ask for your name and your email address, and there is a green smoothie cookbook on there that you can download with all kinds of ideas on green smoothies and things like that, and just kind of ideas.
Okay, Jerry has a question. She says, where do you find cocoa? Think she's talking about this powder.
Yes. Now, cocoa you can find at your local grocery store, next to where you find the Nestle's chocolate. You can get cocoa. That's how you make hot cocoa. You can get the cocoa there, and it's ground and already done. It's a powder, but you can also get it at your health food store as well. And I use the cocoa to make hot chocolate, at night. Instead of adding the sugar, I add a little bit of honey. It's not as sweet, but sometimes I want a hot drink at night. And it does have a little caffeine in it, but caffeine doesn't keep me up at night. But cocoa also has a lot of minerals in it, some B vitamins and iron, which is really good. So if you happen to be a person who is anemic, drinking cocoa at night or in the morning in exchange for your coffee, or maybe you drink a little bit of coffee and cocoa together or whatever, that goes a long ways in terms of your requirement of iron. Yeah. Because sometimes it's hard to get iron.
So it's like having a mocha in the mornings if you add a little
Yes,
bit.
it can be like having a mocha. Absolutely. You can have your espresso or coffee and your cocoa with your almond milk and pour them together, and voila, you're having
wow. But I'm Japanese, right? Matcha has been something that's been in the Japanese in our DNA, basically.
Yes.
And so I find it really fascinating that matcha is now part of the mainstream, that everybody's using nowadays. So I think that's so awesome.
I know. Well, that's one of the reasons the lifeline in the Japanese culture is so long, because of your diet, quite frankly. Your diets are so good. And the matcha is something I just discovered a couple of years ago. Actually, more than about 5 years ago, I found out about it, but I had problems finding it. Now, I was at Smart and Final and found it. It was a good price, I don't know if it's at Costco or Sam's Club yet, but I imagine it's on its way. But matcha can go a long way towards fortifying your immune system, because it's basically green tea. And for those of you who are looking for quick ways to do it, matcha smoothie with blueberries and ginger. Sometimes what I'll do, if I feel something coming on, I will take a clove of garlic and throw it in there in my smoothie. You can taste it a little bit, but not that much. I might add a little extra honey on the times that I do that, and make sure I don't kiss my husband. But it really goes a long ways. My whatever it is I'm feeling, it stops, because it is probably one of the best ways to ward off the impact of germs in your system. It just really fortifies and boosts your immune system.
Oh, wow. You know something? I have a whole jar of ground garlic that it's just been sitting there. I'm like, because after a while you forget what you know what I'm saying?
What you have, yeah.
What you have. And I used to throw it in my tea.
Is it chopped up garlic in a jar?
Yes.
Yeah, you can just throw it in there with stir-fried vegetables.
You know,
And your
and I
Yes.
fruit,
used to
whatever.
boil it in my tea when
Yeah,
I
you
when my immune system felt
can. Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, wow. Thank you for reminding me of the properties
Oh,
that are
absolutely.
in there. Yeah.
Like I said, these
Gracious.
are things
Thank you.
that we kind of know, but we just don't do on a regular basis, or we forget because there's so many things going on in our lives that,
Yes.
it's not like I do this for a living, so I know it all the time. But everybody else is busy doing other stuff, and you just kind of forget, or you fall into other habits because it's comfortable and that's what you know. But
Hmm.
I think that we need to be a little bit more diligent and a little bit more strategic when it comes to boosting our immune systems. We need to do that.
Very good. Wow.
You, I just got back from a little bit of traveling, and one of the things that we did very specifically was just keep washing our hands
Mm.
every time. I mean, every single time we, stopped, we would wash our hands. But what
Mhm.
I found is that it makes my hands so dry.
Yeah, you want
So
to wash your hands and then have some kind of moisturizer that you could use. And I can tell you, the hand sanitizers,
Hmm.
yeah,
especially if you have dry skin, is
mhm,
not the way to go, especially during the winter because your skin's already dry. When you're
mhm,
older, your skin gets even drier. And then you
Hmm.
put that hand sanitizer on there and it dries it out even more so and can cause other issues.
Oh.
So washing your hands are the best. It's not a bad idea to have it in your bag if you can't wash your hands, but
right.
washing your hands in warm to hot water for 20 seconds. That's what they're
Mhm.
advising right now. The hand sanitizers don't always do it in terms of getting rid of everything. When you are using the things at the grocery store, the hand sanitizers to wipe off that's helpful. But if you're feeling, that you need that extra bump, I wouldn't be mad at you if you put some gloves on and push that thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's the other thing we did is we had those hand sanitizers wipes, and we
Uh-huh.
wiped the arms of our airplane, the table on the
Yeah.
airplane, all of those little nooks and crannies that everybody touches. We just wiped
Mhm.
all those down, and it just makes you feel like, okay, I'm a little safer, but you're at least so aware
Hmm.
Yes, much
Was,
more.
was
Mhm.
it you,
of
Robin, that was
protecting
talking
your
about?
hands.
Was it you talking about wiping off the seat belt, the buckle?
Who, me?
Robin,
Oh,
the
Robert.
other day. I think she's. I think she.
That was something that we also did. I mean, we just wiped down the whole, and we tried to sit next
Uh-huh.
to each other's germs.
That makes sense.
It's just,
Yeah.
it was
And,
amazing.
and folks,
Yeah.
I just thought of something else. We're talking about public places and seatbelts and things like that. For those of you who use Ubers from time to time, just use caution. Um, in terms of wiping the seat off or whatever it is you need to do, put gloves on if you're opening the doors, whatever. But I want to say something about the face mask, by the way.
Yeah.
The the current virus is airborne. That is true. But the face mask isn't necessarily for protection from that. The face mask can help you when it comes to putting your hands on your face and your nose where the virus enters. That's really what that's all about. It's really not protecting you from the virus, but it can help you in terms of managing. Like I have a tendency to put my hands on my face when I'm working and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
All the
have,
time. Here you go.
yeah,
You know.
that's what that's
Yeah.
for. Yep.
Mm. Okay. We've got some comments over here. Um, Brenna, who's our clean and green lady, says, yes, a good quality hand cream is important. I guess
Mhm.
because you were talking about the drying out of the skin.
Yes, yes.
And then she said,
Does
I,
Brenda have a recommendation on that? Because I need
yeah,
one.
because that's a good question. She says, I just use the travel enviro cloth when traveling. I wipe off the seats, the trays, the headrests, and everything.
That's good. And you know what I do to moisturize my hands because they have a tendency to be dry. About once, but now more like about 3 times a week now because my skin is getting drier as I get older. I use an avocado mask, avocado and honey mask.
Mm.
Honey helps with antibacterial and it helps repair skin damage or whatever. But I also put it on my hands too. I just leave it on my hands for a while, and it does really moisturize it, and it lasts for a couple of days because avocado is a great natural moisturizer. And
Mm.
that just seems to really help a lot because my hands do have a
That's
tendency to be dry.
a good idea.
I had no idea. Okay. So Brenda's giving us comments, Robin. Let's see here. There you go.
I just saw she said even the movies. Hey, I hear you. I mean, those are all public places. And I think that, we just need to use wisdom. I don't think we need to be panicked, but I don't want to minimize it either. I don't want to minimize the risk. I just think we just need to be careful and more diligent in general when it comes to fortifying our immune system, especially during this time of the year, because people think that as it gets warmer, you don't have to do it as much. But
Yeah.
no, you still have to do it.
Wow. That is so true because I tend to forget about my immune system when it's warm outside. And we've had some unusually warm weather here in California the last couple of days.
Yeah.
No, it's been beautiful. Really nice.
So I think it gets confusing too. Is it allergies or is it the flu? You know what I'm saying?
Both symptoms both symptoms are alike, but they're treated differently. The flu is viral, and the other stuff is an allergen. Normally, if you can remove yourself from the source of the allergen, that will minimize, whereas the flu just has to run its course. You can treat the symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily the causation. Once you have it, you have it. With the allergens, you might be able to trace the causation and then take precautions so that you don't have those issues.
Mm-hmm.
But the symptoms are the same. Allergens can give you body aches and sore throat and headache and all the other same things. The only thing that's probably interesting about it is that the allergen, will come at a particular time of the year if it's like a hay fever kind of thing or whatever.
Yes.
That's the one thing. Whereas flu, these days is almost year round,
Oh, I had no idea it could be year round. I only think about it in the winter. What about you, Robin? Do you only think about the flu in the winter?
I think we lost her there.
Oh,
There she is.
yeah. Here she comes.
I think my internet is very spotty. I'm actually in the Napa County right now, so I think my
We
internet
can
is.
hear you though, Robin. Can you hear us? We can hear you. You're just a little delayed.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Brenna's. Suggestion about the EnviroCloth, because you can get the small ones too that you can like hang off your purse. I forgot. Thank you for reminding us about that. In fact, Brenna's going to be with us this week, so maybe she can cover a lot more about how to keep our air in public places and things like that. That would be awesome.
That would really be good.
Somebody asked about is flu airborne? And just recently, within the last year, studies have shown that flu can be spread through infectious viruses that are passed through the air. It used to be that they would only say that you can get the flu through coughs and sneezes and by touching infected surfaces and contaminated areas. But now they're saying that studies reveal that the flu can be airborne, that you can get the flu just by breathing air that has the virus. And it could be that it's different strains of the flu. There are different strains of the flu. But in general, I would treat the flu just like I would treat a virus in terms of being preventative and in terms of fortifying the immune system.
Okay. And then we got this comment from Brenna. It says, is it what? Absorbic
Absorbic
and vitamin A for an immune booster?
Yeah, ascorbic acid is a great immune booster. I'm not as familiar with the combination ascorbic acid and vitamin A, but I trust you, Brenna. If it works for you, it works for you. There certainly is nothing wrong with getting more vitamin A, but ascorbic acid definitely. Vitamin A almost always has to be taken as a supplement because it's really hard to get it out of our foods. I mean, we can, but it's an unsaturated nutritional supplement. and it has multiple functions. So it does help to maintain the immune system, and it's great for vision. But it's hard to make sure that you're getting it. So if you can get a supplement, that's very helpful. It's good that you're doing a supplement, because lots of times it's hard because of how we prepare our food. We're not traditionally in America, we don't do a lot of raw food eating. And the more we cook or process our foods, the more we strip some of those vitamins away from the food. And vitamin A is one of those foods that is sensitive to processing. So, but there are some foods that are high in vitamin A. Cod liver oil, remember those? Sweet potatoes and carrots, spinach and broccoli, sweet bell pepper, beef liver. That's funny because I don't eat beef at all, but every once in a while I do have a craving for beef liver and onions, something from my childhood. And when I have that craving, I'll go ahead and eat it. I'm not a purist. I probably eat meat, beef, maybe once every other year when I have that craving. For the last 30 years, once every other year, I get a craving for beef liver, and I'll eat a couple of bites, and then that's all I can take. But vitamin A supplement is great for immune system.
So what is the source of absorbic acid? Am I saying that right?
Acid is a component of vitamin C, but you can separate it out, and you get it through a supplement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to find it, from your foods. I mean, you can, but it all depends on how you prepare the food. You can get ascorbic acid powder. It's vitamin C basically, but it's a real high strain of vitamin C. And of course, in terms of getting vitamin C, you can get it from citrus, from berries, tomatoes, potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, red, green, bell peppers, cabbage, spinach. The more raw it is, the more a higher source of or a higher source of vitamin C.
Okay.
And I wanted to say real quickly about ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is an isolated form of vitamin C. It's the it's isolated from vitamin C. It's a part of vitamin C, but it's not just vitamin C. And it's very hard to get it completely separated out from your food. You're going to get the vitamin C and the ascorbic acids in there somewhere. But if you want specifically the ascorbic acid, then that's something that you get as a supplement.
Gotcha. Okay, so now Brenna's talking to us, guys.
What's she saying? Let's see. Oh, okay. I see her.
She says, yes, I haven't gotten the flu shot too. We haven't had the flu because I think Jill said she hadn't gotten the flu shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter got influenza A 2 years ago. Parents in special needs classes, special day classes, always send their kids sick until they're told by the school.
Well, that's interesting because I have a grandson who's high functioning autistic. He's 5, and he's oral because he will put his fingers in his mouth all the time. So I told his mom to find out what they're doing in the classroom about that, because usually special needs kids have a tendency to be oral, and they put, thank goodness he doesn't put toys or anything like that. He will put his fingers in his mouth, and you'll say fingers and he'll take it out to remind him. Excuse me. But so I asked her, what is the plan for these children who have a tendency to be oral? And so she's going to ask that today, because really, because he's high functioning, if you tell him to go and wash his hands for 20 seconds, he'll count to 20 and he'll wash his hands, but you're gonna have to remind him to do that. Mm-hmm. I know some classrooms, they make it into almost like a game where it's hand washing time, every 30 minutes, but when you have a classroom full of 30 kids, that can take a lot of time. Now in his class, I think there's only like 6 of them or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's a private school, but still they should have some protocol. And if they don't, then as parents or grandparents or whatever, we should be suggesting that they come up with something to make sure the kids are protected when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mm. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put this up. I don't know if I can pronounce this.
Ascorbic. There you go.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenna. You just look in the bulk section in the co-op sacrament. So it's in the powdered form, I guess, right?
Let's see.
She gets the one with the biofilm. Okay. Is it in a powder form, or are you getting it in the capsule form or pill form, buffered form? Because you can get it in buffered, you can get it in the gel pill form. I've never seen it in bulk, but who knows? And maybe you could get it that way.
Maybe. Huh.
I forget to tell people about the Sacramento Food Co-op. It's always a great place to get a lot of the stuff we're talking about.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like almost a more affordable Trader Joe's. And the one downtown, if you happen to be in Sacramento, is really nice. It's really nice. It's membership owned, and they have a great kind of like a la carte with all kinds of healthy foods and things like that. But they also have all the ingredients and things that you might normally find in a health food store. They tend to be more health food and alternative. Oh, she said powder. Okay. So she's using powder. Are you using it and putting it in veggie gel pills, or are you just putting in your smoothie? How are you distributing it, the powder form? Because you can go to the health food store and get the veggie gel pills. And in the veggie gel pills, you can put the maca in there if you want to. You can put golden seal in there or echinacea in there, any ground substance. If you don't want to put it in your food for whatever reason, you put it in a gel, in a veggie pill, gel pill. And I say that because the other ones are processed and full of gunk, whereas the gel pills made out of vegetable compounds are safe and don't hurt you and don't, defeat the purpose. You're taking all this good stuff in a toxic gel pill. So yeah. You can even put your little granulated garlic in there if you wanted to.
Oh my goodness, I could just swallow it.
That's right. You can put your cocoa in there, anything that you want in there that you don't feel like tasting or don't have time to put smoothie. And I do that sometimes. If I'm traveling, I'm not going to have time to put stuff in a blender or whatever. So I will put different stuff in my little gel pills. I look like a little math professor. Put those things in gel pills and put it in my little pill container, and I use that to make sure that I'm getting the stuff that I'm traveling.
Okay. We got a response from Brenna here.
Oh, okay. See, she said, okay, she puts in her smoothie. Great. Okay.
She says, so it's powder and she puts it in a smoothie? Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Oh my goodness.
Today was filled with information. I had 3 pages of notes.
Exactly. I've got notes
Oh, this is great.
I've got notes all down my blotter.
I'm very inspired. I'm going to start doing that in the month of March. I was going to start just getting control of my health again. And good step would be for me to make a smoothie every morning for both my sister and I, who's living with me now. And, we just start the day out right. And, I used to make smoothies for Fred, but I never did it for myself. Isn't that sort of weird, huh? So drinking these smoothies. Strange.
That's great.
I one of those
when you're self-caring, when you're caring for others, one of the first things that seems to slip, which seems so crazy because you're taking care of someone else, is care for ourselves. It just slips. It's just
I don't know why we do it that way.
But it's very common. It's very common. I am putting together a webinar course on wellness for caregivers. In fact, I have several webinar courses coming up, and they're like little vignettes, about 45 minutes. I'm going to be doing one on menopausal anxiety. I'm going to be doing one on menopausal stress. Probably should do one on boosting immune systems. They're very affordable. They're $40. They're about 45 minutes. You'll get a download of information that I talk about, and you'll be able to ask questions and get everything done in less than an hour. And you've got this great information that you can use. So I'll be sharing that information with the Biz Chicks. I'm
love it.
I'm putting together the all the stuff on the platform, but it'll be ready to go by next week. And because I think that this is a great affordable way to get educated on ways to take care of yourself and find out what the options are and what is it you can do so that you can thrive. And you also get a copy of the recordings. If you want to go back and listen to it, you can do that. So
that's wonderful. I know that you have you finished up your intern?
No, that is ongoing every Tuesday.
So
5:30 p.m. and every Wednesday at 9 a.m. And I don't know if I can give you the
link. Can you put the link in the chat? If
Okay.
not now, after the show, you can go
Yeah,
in
after
and
the
put
show,
it
I'll
in.
put the link in the chat. And what she's talking about is how to hire an intern for entrepreneurs. I've had 7 interns in 8 years, and they have been fabulous. Robin and Francine have taken the course, and the good thing about it is that once you take the course, if you still need some help in figuring out how to maneuver the process, I'll be glad to help you. But it has added so much to my business. Isn't the intern I have now, isn't he a little cute guy? The intern I have now, did you remember seeing him? He's a little cute guy.
Oh, the guy. Yes, he spoke on the program. Yes.
Yeah, he's a little cute guy. He's in Atlanta. The great thing about having a virtual intern, they can be anywhere in the world. One of my interns I actually hired, she's my social media person, and she is in Russia. So you never know. You might find somebody. It's a great way to trade before you buy. They really can add value if you hire the right one and create a win-win internship. And I show you how to do that. So I will put that. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is right here. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Sounds good.
So that you can, okay, here's one.
While she's doing that, I want to remind everybody that my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, is being what would you call it? She's been nominated for an award from the Tapestry Business Group, and we'll put that information in the chat in case you want to come out on award night. The tickets are $59. It's going to be March 11th here in Sacramento at the Officers Club. And so we're going to get that information to you. It'll be in the chat, and you can come back and check it out. So if you want to get a ticket and come help us celebrate Francine, she's being honored for as the founder of Biz Chicks. And so we're real excited about it.
That's wonderful. Congratulations, Francine.
Yeah, she's been nominated by Woven In. Yep. Yeah, that's right, Robin. So we're excited about that.
Oh, what a great show we had today.
Yes. So if
thank you
can
so
get
much,
that
Glynis.
into the chat, we want to thank everybody who's watching on the replay. Go ahead, Robin. I didn't mean to cut you off. I could hear you.
No, I just wanted to thank Glynis again for all of the great information. It's just jam-packed with great information. And I am I'm going to minimize my stress. I'm only going to pick a few little things out of today's show that I'm going to take on, because that's what we do. We do one little thing at a time just to change those habits, right? So one of the things that I've been working on for a long time actually is minimizing stress, because that's so unhealthy for you to have any kind of stress in your life. So that and smoothies. So I'm going to do that. Thank you, Linus. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It's always great to be with the Biz Chicks.
Well, we are just excited. And Robin, we just want to thank you so much. You always find such great guests for us. Linus, thank you again. You always bring wonderful information that's easy to do, because over here at Biz Chicks, we don't like convoluted stuff.
Yes. I want to do one more plug, because I'm really proud of it. I have a new podcast.
Oh, yes. We like podcasts.
Yes, it's a podcast about for women, midlife women, and all the people who love them. And we talk about topics that help us to vibe in our life. And vibe is actually an acronym that stands for being victorious, intuitive. Being vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and emerged. And the show goes up every Wednesday. I've done 2 episodes, and the 3rd episode is going to be a little bit on menopausal anxiety and some other things. I have 3 segments. I have something called Body Bella, which is all about the body, and then Spiritual Spice, which is really about something spiritual, and then Mind Moves, which is all about how to take care of our mind and our brain. Because if that goes, then everything else goes out after that. So I would like to post the link if I could.
That would be great too.
Yeah, and actually it's heard on several different platforms, but you can get it on Spotify and Google Play and Apple Podcasts. I'm on Anchor. In fact, I first found out about Anchor from you all.
Yeah. So
a few years ago.
We love Anchor. Okay.
Yeah. And I love Anchor because you can monetize Anchor,
Exactly.
and people have been making donations and stuff, which is wonderful. That's not why I did it. I did it because I left the wellness journey. I have been doing that for 9 years and just took a break and decided that I would do something where I'm usually the guest. Occasionally I'll have somebody, but I said, after 10 years, I have a little bit to say.
I hear you. Okay, so we look forward to getting that link.
Okay, I just posted it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So is this it? Oh, I see. It's over here in the
in private chat. I get yeah.
So let me see if I can copy this and
put it in that.
Bring it over here to the comments. Let's see if this works. Yes, I think it worked. I love Apple. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, so much.
You are so welcome. It is our pleasure. And then I see that you have a link here about how to hire an intern. Do you want us to put that in the chat also?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I really am encouraging women to take this course because it really will, if you get the right one, it will add value to your business. No doubt about it.
Okay. There you go. All righty, daddy. And I want you guys to know that we will be posting the link for the information for what did I say? For Francine's upcoming nomination ceremony. So you'll be able to get that also. So just check back into the replay because I don't have it at my fingertips. But we will make sure that it's posted. So we want to thank everybody again and remind you that tomorrow is Friday and we will be talking tech in English over here at the business.
I love
that. Because we want you to be able to use the things that we recommend to you. We don't want you frustrated with your tech. Also, we want to let you know that BizChicks, if you're in the Sacramento area, we are going to be having a tech playground where you can come in with your tablets and your phones and laptops, and we can help you figure out what's going on, like how to use your phone. Okay.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? Because we get these new phones say, do I swipe? What? Okay. So with that, and when is it going to be? It's going to be on a weekend, and we'll post the dates. The dates will be in the group, so if you are in the BizChicks group, you'll get that. And then tomorrow, we'll let you know in the chat when we discuss tech. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great day, and don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Robin, thank you again. Do you want the last word? Robin?
Not necessary.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for joining us.
In front of your own line. Go ahead. Because you're a little delayed. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, everybody come in next Thursday. We're going to have Brenna. She's going to spend it safely. And Linus, again, thank you for your expertise. It's always you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a fantastic rest of the week.
It's our pleasure. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.